Hey Gemini, so I just sat down with my cards and I have to tell you, the energy coming through for you right now is really something. You know that question that keeps you up at night, wondering why this person who clearly has feelings for you just cannot seem to take that final step? Why they keep one foot in and one foot out? I pulled cards specifically on what is blocking your person from fully committing to you. And honestly, the insights here are deeper than I expected. Before we dive in, I want you to know this reading is about understanding, not judgment. Sometimes people carry things we cannot see, fears we do not know about, patterns they are not even aware of themselves. So let us look at what the cards are revealing about what is truly holding your person back from giving you their whole heart. I pulled the Four of Swords first, and immediately I felt this heaviness, this exhaustion. Your person is mentally and emotionally drained, Gemini. This is not about you being too much or not enough. This is about them carrying so much internal fatigue that the idea of committing, of showing up fully for another person, feels like climbing a mountain they do not have the energy for right now. The Four of Swords shows someone who needs rest, who needs to retreat and recover. Think about it. When was the last time this person actually dealt with their own emotional baggage? When did they last sit with themselves and heal old wounds? They have been running on empty for so long that they have normalized it. And here you are, offering them something real, something that requires presence and vulnerability, and they are terrified because they know they cannot show up the way they want to. They are not avoiding commitment because they do not want you. They are avoiding it because they are afraid of failing you. They look at what you deserve, and they look at what they currently have to offer. And there is this gap, this chasm they do not know how to bridge. Your person knows that real commitment means being emotionally available, being present, being able to hold space for another person, and right now they can barely hold space for themselves. They have been through something that drained them, maybe a past relationship that took everything, maybe life circumstances that left them hollow, maybe just years of not addressing their own needs. And now they are in this place where rest feels like the only thing that makes sense. But here is what they are not realizing. Healing does not happen in isolation forever. At some point, you have to let someone in. At some point, you have to trust that you can heal while building something new. But they are not there yet. They are still in the retreat phase, still in the recovery mode. And commitment feels like the opposite of the space they think they need. Then I pulled the Six of Pentacles, and this added such an interesting layer. Your person has issues around balance and reciprocity in relationships. They have either been the giver who gave too much and got burned, or they have been on the receiving end and felt guilty about it. Either way, they have a distorted view of what balanced partnership looks like. The Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving in equal measure, about the flow of energy between two people. But your person does not trust that flow. They are either worried they will give everything and you will take it for granted, or they are worried they will not be able to give enough and you will resent them for it. There is this scarcity mindset around emotional resources. They look at commitment and they see depletion instead of multiplication. They do not understand yet that real love is not about keeping score, that when two people show up authentically, the energy actually expands rather than diminishes. Your person might have come from relationships where everything was transactional, where love was conditional, where they had to earn affection through what they provided. So now they are hypervigilant about the exchange. They are watching, calculating, trying to figure out if this will be fair, if they will lose themselves again, if they will end up drained and empty like before. And this hypervigilance is exhausting in itself. It is keeping them from just being present with what is actually happening between you two. They cannot commit because they are too busy protecting themselves from a dynamic that does not even exist yet. They are fighting ghosts from past relationships and projecting those patterns onto you. What they need to understand is that you are not asking them to diminish themselves. You are asking them to show up as they are and trust that it will be enough. But trust is the hardest thing to rebuild once it has been broken, and your person has had their trust in balanced partnership absolutely shattered. The Nine of Cups came out next, and at first I thought, wait, is not this the wish fulfillment card? Should not this mean they want commitment? But then I understood what the cards were showing me. Your person is stuck in fantasy. They have this idealized version of what relationship should look like, what commitment should feel like, and they are comparing your real, beautiful, imperfect connection to this impossible standard. The Nine of Cups can sometimes represent someone who is so focused on their wishes, their desires, their vision of how things should be, that they cannot appreciate what actually is. Your person has built up commitment in their mind as this huge, perfect fairy tale thing, And because real life does not match that fantasy, they are hesitating. They are waiting for some magical moment where everything aligns perfectly, where they feel absolutely certain, where there is no risk and no fear. But that moment does not exist, Gemini. Commitment is not about perfect conditions. It is about choosing someone even when things are messy, even when you are scared, even when you cannot see the whole picture. Your person is chasing a feeling they think they are supposed to have, and because they do not have it yet, they are telling themselves they are not ready. But here is the truth. They are conflating readiness with certainty, and those are not the same thing. You can be ready and still scared. You can be ready and still uncertain about the future. Readiness is about willingness, not about having all the answers. Your person thinks that if they were really meant to commit, it would feel easy, it would feel obvious, it would feel like that perfect Nine of Cups fulfillment. But real relationships require work, require showing up even when it is uncomfortable, require choosing love over and over again. They are so focused on the destination, on the idea of happily ever after, that they are missing the journey. They are missing that commitment is not a finish line, it is a practice. And until they let go of this fantasy and deal with reality, they will always find reasons to hold back. Because reality will never match the perfection they have built in their mind. The King of Swords showed up, and this explains so much about your person's approach. They are in their head about this, completely disconnected from their heart. The King of Swords is logical, analytical, strategic. They are trying to make a rational decision about something that is fundamentally emotional. Your person is making lists of pros and cons. They are analyzing compatibility. They are thinking about logistics and timing and whether this makes sense on paper. And while there is nothing wrong with being thoughtful, they have taken it to an extreme where they have intellectualized the entire relationship. They have created so much distance between what they feel and what they think that they cannot access their true desires anymore. Every time their heart says yes, their mind comes up with 17 reasons to hesitate. Every time they feel that pull toward you, their analytical side starts questioning it, picking it apart, looking for flaws. They are so afraid of making a mistake that they are paralyzed. The King of Swords energy can be brilliant and clear, but it can also be cold and detached when taken too far. Your person has armored themselves with logic because vulnerability feels too risky. They would rather stay in control, stay rational, stay protected than surrender to what they actually feel. And commitment requires surrender, Gemini. It requires letting go of control and trusting that even if things do not go according to plan, you will figure it out together. But your person does not trust that process. They want guarantees. They want proof. They want to know the outcome before they make the investment. And love does not work that way. Love is inherently uncertain. It is inherently vulnerable. And until your person is willing to come down from their head and into their heart, until they are willing to feel instead of just think, they will stay stuck in this analytical loop that keeps them from committing. The devil came through, and oh Gemini, this is the heavy one. Your person has chains they do not even realize they are wearing. The devil represents bondage, addiction, unhealthy patterns, limiting beliefs. Your person is bound by fear masquerading as freedom. They think they are protecting themselves by not committing. They think they are maintaining their independence, but really they are enslaved to their own fear. They are stuck in patterns that feel safe but are actually keeping them small. Maybe they have convinced themselves they are not the relationship type. Maybe they have told themselves they need to focus on other things right now. Maybe they have built an identity around being independent or unavailable. But underneath all of that is just fear. Fear of being hurt, fear of losing themselves, fear of being trapped, fear of not being enough, fear of being too much. The devil shows me your person is caught in a cycle of self-sabotage. Every time they get close to real intimacy, every time the possibility of commitment becomes real, something in them panics and pulls back. They create distance. They pick fights. They focus on your flaws. They convince themselves it is not right. But it is not about you or the relationship, it is about them being terrified of what commitment represents. And here is what makes the devil so insidious. These patterns feel comfortable even though they are destructive. Your person has been doing this dance for so long, keeping people at arm's length, that it feels normal. The discomfort of intimacy feels scarier than the loneliness of distance. They are addicted to their own protection mechanisms. They are bound to their walls. And breaking free requires acknowledging that these walls they built to keep pain out are also keeping love out. It requires admitting that their freedom is actually a cage. That takes deep self-awareness and courage your person might not have accessed yet. The Devil is not a gentle card. It is asking your person to confront their shadow, to look at the ways they are limiting themselves, to face the uncomfortable truth that they are their own biggest obstacle to the commitment they actually want deep down. Justice appeared, and this brings in the element of karma and past relationship wounds. Your person is carrying unresolved issues from previous connections that are affecting their ability to commit to you now. Justice is about balance, cause and effect, reaping what you sow. Your person either hurt someone in the past and carries guilt about it, or they were hurt and carry resentment. Either way, there is unfinished emotional business that is bleeding into your connection. They are overcompensating or undercompensating based on past mistakes. If they were the one who hurt someone, they might be terrified of doing it again, so they are holding back to protect you from themselves. If they were the one who got hurt, they are holding back to protect themselves from experiencing that pain again. Justice shows me your person knows on some level that commitment requires accountability, requires showing up fully, requires being honest and present. And they are not sure they can do that yet. They are still processing lessons from the past. They are still trying to understand what went wrong before and how to not repeat it. But here is what they are missing. You cannot heal in a vacuum. You cannot figure out how to be a better partner by avoiding partnership. At some point, you have to take the risk again. You have to trust yourself to show up differently this time. Justice is also about making decisions, about weighing everything and coming to a conclusion. Your person is in perpetual deliberation mode. They are waiting to feel like they have paid their karmic debts, like they have learned enough, like they have healed enough to deserve love again. But growth is not linear, and healing is not something you complete before you start living again. Justice asks your person to stop hiding behind past mistakes and step into present possibilities. It asks them to trust that they have learned, that they have grown, that they can make different choices now. But that requires faith in themselves they have not cultivated yet. The Queen of Pentacles showed up, and this revealed something tender about your person. They want to commit when they feel stable, when they feel like they have their life together, when they feel worthy of offering something substantial. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing, abundant, grounded. She has built something solid and shares it generously. Your person wants to be this version of themselves before they commit to you. They look at where they are right now, maybe struggling with career stuff, maybe dealing with financial stress, maybe just feeling like they have not achieved what they thought they would have by now, and they feel like they cannot offer you what you deserve. This is actually coming from a place of caring, Gemini. They respect you enough that they do not want to show up half-baked. They want to be the partner who can provide, who can support, who can build a stable life with you. But they are setting impossible standards for themselves. They think they need to have everything figured out before they can commit, but that is not how life works. Nobody has it all together. Partnership is about building together, growing together, supporting each other through the messy middle of life. Your person does not understand that you do not need them to be perfect. You need them to be present. You do not need them to have achieved everything. You need them to be willing to work toward it with you. The Queen of Pentacles energy in block position shows me your person has this provider mentality that is actually working against intimacy. They think love is about what they can give materially or practically, but they are missing the emotional component. They are so focused on building external stability that they are neglecting internal readiness. And until they realize that you value their presence more than their provision, that you want their heart more than their achievement, they will keep waiting for some future version of themselves that does not exist yet. Four of Wands came through, and this surprised me because this is usually such a positive card about celebration and partnership. But in the context of what is blocking commitment, I see your person is actually afraid of the happiness that commitment could bring. Stay with me here because this sounds counterintuitive. The Four of Wands represents home, stability, joyful partnership, building something together. Your person wants this, but they are terrified of it at the same time. They are afraid that if they let themselves have this, if they let themselves be this happy, something will come and take it away. They have a deep-seated belief that good things do not last, that happiness is temporary, that the other shoe is always about to drop. So they are protecting themselves from disappointment by not fully investing. If they do not commit, if they do not let themselves fully celebrate this connection, then it cannot hurt as much when it ends. This is such a painful way to live, Gemini. Your person is denying themselves joy in the present because they are bracing for pain in the future. They cannot be fully here with you because they are already anticipating loss. The Four of Wands should be about coming home to each other, about creating that safe space where both people can be themselves. But your person does not trust safety. They do not trust stability. Every time things feel good between you, instead of relaxing into it, they tense up. They wait for the problem. They look for the crack in the foundation. They cannot let themselves believe that this could actually work, that you could actually build something lasting together. And this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because their inability to be present, their constant waiting for things to fall apart, creates the very distance that threatens the connection. What your person needs to learn is that nothing is guaranteed in life, but that is not a reason to hold back from living. The possibility of loss is always there, but so is the possibility of lasting joy. And you cannot protect yourself from pain by refusing to be happy. You just end up with neither happiness nor protection, just a hollow kind of safety that is not really living at all. 10 of Pentacles appeared, and this shows me your person is thinking about legacy, about family, about long-term implications in a way that is overwhelming them. The 10 of Pentacles is the card of generational wealth, family structures, lasting security. When your person thinks about commitment, they are not just thinking about the two of you, they are thinking about everything that comes after. They are thinking about meeting families, about what it means for their future, about children maybe, about entwining lives completely. And it feels huge. It feels permanent in a way that scares them. They are fast-forwarding past the relationship you are actually in right now and jumping to this final destination of merged lives and shared everything. And from that perspective, commitment feels like too big of a step. They are not thinking about committing to dating you exclusively or being your official partner. They are thinking about committing to this entire life trajectory, and that is paralyzing. The 10 of Pentacles in block position tells me your person needs to slow down and be more present with what is actually in front of them. Commitment does not mean you are signing up for everything all at once. It means you are saying yes to the next step and then the next one after that. It means building day by day, choice by choice. But your person has skipped all the middle steps in their mind and gone straight to the weight of forever, and they are buckling under that pressure. They are also thinking about what other people will think, what their family will say, how this relationship fits into their bigger life picture. The 10 of Pentacles has this element of social expectation and traditional structures. Your person might be worried about how you fit into their family, or how they fit into yours, or what commitment means in terms of their community or social circle. They are letting external factors influence an internal decision, and that is muddying the waters. What they need to understand is that real commitment starts small and grows. You do not have to have the whole future figured out to say yes to right now. You do not have to know how everything will unfold to take the next step. But your person is trying to have certainty about the entire journey before they will even start walking, and that is keeping them frozen at the starting line. The last card I pulled is the King of Pentacles, and this ties everything together in such a clear way. Your person is waiting until they feel like they have mastered themselves, their life, their circumstances before they will commit. The King of Pentacles is the pinnacle of material success and personal mastery. He is stable, successful, reliable, someone who has built something substantial and has the resources to maintain it. Your person thinks they need to be this fully realized version of themselves before they can offer commitment. They are putting pressure on themselves to be perfect, to have no flaws, to be completely healed and whole and successful. And here is the heartbreaking part. They think they are doing this for you. They think they are being respectful by waiting until they are worthy. But what they do not see is that you are not asking for perfection. You are asking for partnership. The King of Pentacles energy in its shadow becomes this unattainable standard that keeps them perpetually not ready. There is always one more thing to achieve, one more issue to resolve, one more area of life to master before they can turn their attention to relationship. They have made commitment contingent on personal perfection, and that is a moving target that will never be reached. Your person needs to understand that being the King of Pentacles in relationship is not about having everything figured out first. It is about being someone who shows up consistently, who is willing to build together, who takes responsibility for their part in the connection. They already have what it takes to commit, they just do not believe they do. And until they can accept themselves as good enough right now, as worthy of love in their current imperfect state, they will keep waiting for some future version of themselves that never quite arrives. They will keep building their kingdom alone, missing the person who wants to build with them, all because they think they need to finish construction before they can invite anyone in. So Gemini, what is blocking your person from fully committing? It is a complex web of exhaustion, past wounds, impossible standards, overthinking, fear disguised as independence, unresolved karma, perfectionism about their own readiness, and terror of the happiness they actually want. None of this is really about you or your worthiness. This is about them being in a battle with themselves. And until they resolve that internal conflict, until they can show up for themselves with compassion and acceptance, they cannot show up for you in the way you both deserve. The question is not whether they care about you. The energy shows me they absolutely do. The question is whether they care enough about themselves to do the work, to face the fears, to challenge the patterns that are keeping them stuck. And that is not something you can do for them, Gemini. That is their journey. You can hold space for it, you can be patient if you choose to be, but you cannot wait forever for someone to become ready. At some point, you have to decide what you are willing to accept and what you deserve, and commit to your own happiness whether they are ready to join you or not.